On this episode of O'Fallon Matters, we'll look back at a special night of historic storytelling, find out more about O'Fallon's permit process, and learn about a local high school's effort to combat bullying. All this and more next on O'Fallon Matters. Welcome to this episode of O'Fallon Matters. The City of O'Fallon has two bond issues on the April 8, 2014 ballot. City staff is here to give you the facts on Propositions J and P.
On April 8th, O'Fallon voters will be asked to decide on two ballot issues that will help to shape the future of O'Fallon, Proposition J and Proposition P. If approved by the voters, these two propositions will allow O'Fallon to issue bonds for the construction of a new Justice Center, improvements to Civic Park, including a new Civic Hall and expanded Alligators Creek, and the construction of a brand new passive park off of Highway DD called O'Day Park.
The cost of these new projects total $52.73 million, and the city would need to issue bonds to pay for the construction of these facilities. Those bonds would be tied to a property tax increase, and the bonds must be approved by the voters of O'Fallon.
Proposition J asks voters to approve the construction of a new Justice Center in the city of O'Fallon. If approved, the Justice Center will provide the city with a centrally located 21st century police and courts facility that will meet the needs of the city for decades to come.
When the O'Fallon Police Station opened as part of the current City Hall complex in 1999, the city of O'Fallon was approximately 1/4 of the size that it is today. At that time, even the most optimistic projections called for the city's population to grow to 60,000 residents by 2015. Today, of course, O'Fallon's population is nearly 82,000 residents, and it's only expected to increase over the next 40 years.
This growth means that the O'Fallon Police Department has had to expand at a much faster pace than was anticipated. The department has outgrown its current home and needs more space to meet the needs of the community, both now and in the future.
The new facility also would provide a permanent home for the city's municipal court, which presently meets in a temporary setting in a City Hall meeting room.
Proposition P will allow for the completion of two significant parks and recreation projects. Improvements to Civic Park, including a new Civic Hall and expanded Alligators Creek Aquatic Center, and the construction of a brand new park off of Highway DD called O'Day Park.
These parks and recreation projects will allow the department to expand recreational opportunities on both the city's north and south sides, and will increase the amount of parkland in the city by more than 10%.
In 2001, a local family donated 55 acres of land off of Highway DD, just southwest of the movie theater, to the city for the purpose of building a park on the city's south side. The land, now dubbed O'Day Park, offers the city the potential for a beautiful passive park with nature trails and walking paths, a unique adventure-themed playground, an amphitheater, a zip line, and a lodge for meetings, banquets, and other recreational programs.
For many people, parks provide the only opportunity to connect with nature. The natural beauty and rolling terrain of the land means that the new O'Day Park would allow residents to experience nature and get away from it all while still being close to home. The trails and walking paths will provide fitness opportunities while surrounded by the great outdoors, and the amphitheater will provide opportunities for a myriad of events or even an outdoor wedding.
As the oldest park in O'Fallon and a key component of O'Fallon's historic downtown area, Civic Park serves as the heart of our city. Home to Alligators Creek Aquatic Center, countless O'Fallon children and families have spent their summers enjoying all that Civic Park has to offer.
Unfortunately, in 2012, another Civic Park building, Civic Hall, had to be demolished due to an aging infrastructure. The loss of Civic Hall means the city is in great need for meeting and recreational space. The Civic Park improvements that voters will consider include a new Civic Hall that both honors the past glory of the building and meets the needs of future generations. We also will be expanding the very crowded Alligators Creek Aquatic Center with a new larger lazy river, an open swim area, and great new water features and a splash pad.
If these projects are approved by the voters, there would be an increase in the city's property tax rate. To see how this would impact you as a resident, estimate your home value and then use the following chart to determine the increase. To give you an idea, the average home in O'Fallon costs $200,000. The owner of a $200,000 home would see their property taxes increase by $58 a year.
Thank you for your time. We encourage you to research these propositions carefully over the next few weeks and to study these issues. If you need more information, take a look at our website at o'fallon.mo.us or just call or email our communications director, Tom Drabell. And whatever you decide, please make sure to vote in April.
Bullying is a growing problem in our schools, a problem one student organization at Francis Howell High School is looking to end.
Take a walk through the halls of Francis Howell High School and you'll see a pretty typical group of students on their way to class. Look a little closer though, and there's something that you won't see. Bullying rates have dropped dramatically at this school, and most of the credit belongs to the students themselves. At Francis Howell, hundreds of students like Jesse Myers and Skylar Cook are taking a stand against bullies both in and out of the school.
What we do is we look for situations throughout the school where somebody needs to step up, and if somebody hasn't, then that's where we do our part. We step up, we be the brave ones in the situation, because everybody needs somebody to be there for them.
We do a lot of surveys and stuff like that in our Howl time on Wednesdays, just to see, like, have you been bullied? If so, like on the internet, at school, just different ways that we can see what's happening.
Skylar and Jesse are members of a program called Viking Edge, which was established by Principal Dave Wedlock to be a positive force inside the school building. Viking Edge members mentor new students, make transfer students feel at home, and help make the school feel like a community. Each year, new and returning students fill out a survey about what the school could do better. And to better combat bullying, they made a crucial addition to the survey.
To establish a flagship program, we added a question that said, if I was being picked on at school, who would stand up for me? And so from that survey, we got a list of about 40 students. And we began an educational process through the beginning of the year where we taught them this is what bullying is. We also saw research that told us 2/3 of bullying situations will stop within 10 seconds if another peer steps in. And I think that resonated with our students to say, yeah, if I get involved, then the bully understands it's not funny, it's not accepted, and they'll stop.
This new program, called Viking Flagship, was an immediate success, creating a network of students who were committed to standing up against bullying. Through a combination of student-run games, seminars, and classroom programs, Viking Flagship makes bullying an approachable subject for students. And it really seems to be working, and other educators have noticed the results.
I feel like some of the things that we have done has empowered them to feel confident to stand up for each other and be there for people, even if they're not friends with someone. I think it's hard when you're in high school to put yourself out there, and some of the activities and things, the trainings that we've gone through with the kids have just helped build their confidence and really allowed for them to see people, see different perspectives and have empathy for all kinds of people.
But bullying has evolved through the years, and there are more ways than ever for bullying to affect students. Social media bullying is on the rise, so the biggest question for the Viking Flagship program is, can it help stop bullying outside the school walls too?
This year there's been some examples of people making anonymous like Twitter accounts and making negative statements about our students. Now, I'm not happy that that's happening, but the neat part about that is in all these situations, as soon as that started, several students in the school said, hey, stop. That's not appropriate. Don't treat each other like that. And then within a few hours, those accounts are deleted and gone.
The students have taken ownership of the program, and they're excited by the success they've seen.
I think it gets people to know that we're here, so if you need to talk to people, like, you can easily find us. The counselors are more than welcome, and like, we just try and get the word out that, hey, we're in this, so if you have a problem, come talk to us, I can help you.
I like to think it's had a huge impact. From our surveys that we've taken, we've got the general trend that bullying has gone down in the school. So I really like to think that we do quite a bit and that we've made a huge difference. But I believe after this year, it'll be a lot bigger difference in the end.
There's always a need, no matter where you're at in the world, to address the kinds of issues that are, in a school, let alone in the business world. And I think any school environment needs a program like Flagship.
This is a program that's really making a difference, and Viking Flagship will only get bigger and better in the years to come. So if you want to take a stand against bullying, follow their example and join or start a program like Viking Flagship at your school.
Getting a building permit for that new home improvement project is easier than ever. Joe Meyer has more.
Are you looking to make improvements to your home this year? The City of O'Fallon's Planning and Development Department supports and encourages every resident's decision to improve their home. Chances are that if you're planning to make upgrades, you'll need to get a permit through the City of O'Fallon. Approval of plans and inspection of work being done helps ensure your home improvement project meets minimum code requirements while improving your property. Just remember that there are certain types of home improvements that you will need a permit for.
All new construction typically requires a permit. Some of our typical types of permits are decks, sheds, pools, basement finishes, room additions, and fences.
Over the years, the City of O'Fallon's Planning and Development Department has made the permit process easy and efficient for residents.
To make it easy on yourself, probably best to go online and look at our guides that are online. You can go to www.ofallon.mo.us, go to the department section, and there we have all the guides and applications that you can look at.
Once you have all your plans in order, then it's time to get the project rolling.
To submit for the application, you would print those off online, print off an application, fill it out, provide a plot plan to go along with your fence, give us some details of how the fence is to be constructed, and then submit that to the City of O'Fallon. The city then would have an inspector review the permit and then call you when it's ready to pick up. You would then come by City Hall, pick up and pay for your permit, and then you could start construction.
Keep in mind that certain projects require more inspections.
Deck inspections or deck permit or basement finish permit, there are multiple inspections to go through, and there will be a final inspection to make sure that everything is up to code and meeting the minimum standards.
When you walk into City Hall and go to the Planning and Development office, you'll be greeted with a smiling face.
We deal with customers all day, and we have a variety of them that come up to the counter. Our secretarial staff will be there to assist you and direct you to the appropriate person. They are very friendly and will accommodate whatever your requirements are.
The best way to get started with the permit process is to go to www.ofallon.mo.us or call Planning and Development at 636-240-2000.
I'd like to think that our permit process is easy to navigate. The website does allow a lot of customers to go online, see the information that's required, submit that that information, and then the approval process is very easy.
It's time for a break. When we come back, we'll learn about an outreach program that equips children with the power of reading. Later on, we'll check in with an animal rescue group that works to get stray animals a happy and healthy home. Stay with us for O'Fallon Matters.
As O'Fallon continues to grow, the City Council, city staff, and residents have identified 3 priorities for the city's expansion. One of the 3 projects is a new Justice Center. The Justice Center would offer more space for O'Fallon's police department and a permanent home to the city's municipal court. If approved, the Justice Center would provide the city with a 21st century police and courts facility that would meet the needs of the city for decades to come. For more information on Proposition J, you can go to www.ofallon.mo.us.
Welcome back to O'Fallon Matters. This next program has donated over 21,000 books to organizations across St. Charles County. Joe Meyer has more on the St. Charles City County Library Foundation's Ready to Read program.
The Library Foundation's Ready to Read program was set up to empower a generation of young readers. It's said that early and enjoyable pre-reading experiences set the stage for a child's desire to learn. When children participate in developmentally appropriate reading activities, kids gain knowledge that will serve as the foundation for further learning as they enter the school system. And that's where the Ready to Read program shines.
So Ready to Read is really dedicated to making sure that all children are equipped with the tools that they need to succeed in reading before they hit kindergarten. And so we want to work with the whole family in helping provide those tools, making sure they have the materials, and also really see the library as a partner in preparing them for that journey as a lifelong learner.
The Library Foundation has a major investment in community literacy outreach to children under the age of 5, since they make up 6.3% of the St. Charles County population. They focus their efforts in outreach to fragile families and children living in poverty, and the program just continues to grow.
Ready to Read really is an umbrella program. It started just with one kind of partnership and then has grown based on need. So we meet those needs in a variety of ways. All new moms, when they deliver in St. Charles County, receive an early literacy kit. So again, providing that access from the very beginning of life. Then we have community outreach with organizations like Parents as Teachers, Youth in Need Head Start, and the Child Development Center at the Community College, and provide them with early literacy kits.
Relationships are a big part of the Ready to Read program.
So we have some great relationships with the Crisis Nursery, with Saints Joachim and Ann Care Service, with Oasis. So really trying to meet those needs and bring those materials directly to them.
The kids love the books. They get a new book, and our clients aren't able to really afford to go out and buy new books, so this is really a gift to them. And as soon as the kids see them, they get excited and they want to point out to you how much they can read, and it makes them proud, and it makes them feel important, and it makes the parents proud as well.
The Ready to Read program is a success because they have tremendous volunteers. Their dedicated volunteers deliver kits and maintain mini libraries on a regular basis.
Ready to Read is just like the other programs we have with the Library Foundation, and that we're not covered by tax dollars. That's one of the things that makes us different from the library. The foundation is really depend on private grants sponsorships, just separate ways to support our programs. And so we really depend very heavily on support from the community.
If you would like more information on the Ready to Read program, you can call them at 636-441-2300.
Two O'Fallon boards recently teamed up to give residents the history of local African Americans in honor of Black History Month. Joe Meyer was there to celebrate that special night.
A night to remember honored African American history on a local and national scale. This magical evening was coordinated by the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council with the help of O'Fallon's Historic Preservation Commission.
This is the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council's first ever event that we've put on. So it really means a lot to us that we put our foot in the door in a good light and really make sure that we're becoming active members in our community and that we're not just passive and learning about our government, but we're actually becoming very involved in our government and our city. And then to me, it's very near and dear to my heart. Black history is something that's very important to me. I want to make sure that it gets the recognition it deserves.
These kids are sharp at the Youth Council. They came to myself and they came to Sheldon Hartsfield, said, you know, we need some help, and could you get involved a little bit? And we said, oh my gosh, yes. So the O'Fallon Historical Preservation Commission got involved, and actually the Historical Society helped us too, getting involved with photos.
O'Fallon's Municipal Center gym was covered with blown-up photos of O'Fallon's African American past. As people glanced at the pictures, they could get a good idea of O'Fallon's forgotten past. Once the lights were turned down, the evening kicked off with an overview of the history of African Americans in O'Fallon.
Emancipation during the Civil War ended slavery once and for all, but scores of now freed slaves wandered the region looking for work, usually not finding it unless they had a marketable skill. As O'Fallon formed a community, it always had a tiny cadre of free slaves amidst the populace, some of whom carried the names of former owners.
O'Fallon veteran Sheldon Hartsfield spoke on African Americans in the military, and the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council gave an inspiring skit on the Underground Railroad.
6 long days a week you tend to the fields and make him rich. You have never tasted freedom, and you never expect to. And yet, your soul still lights up when you hear whispers of attempted escape.
But I am free. Free. I don't know what awaits me in Canada, but I do know this. I will not die a slave.
One of the biggest highlights of the evening was Phyllis Hayden's channeling of Sojourner Truth.
Well, the little man over there in black say, women can't have as much rights as man, 'cause Christ weren't no woman. Well, where'd your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God who created him and woman who bore him. Man had nothing to do with it.
The evening also featured a presentation on the Sage Chapel Cemetery. Sage Chapel Cemetery is now the most apparent relic of an age lost in time. The cemetery is the only African American cemetery here in O'Fallon.
So, in the 1880s, the Sage Chapel Cemetery land was purchased over a 3-year period for $130. The African Americans of O'Fallon now had a cemetery of their own for burial of their loved ones.
Amazing Grace echoed throughout the gym as the Fort Zumwalt South Chamber Choir concluded the ceremony. A Night to Remember was a touching tribute to African American history and made an impact on many people along the way.
It's hard to explain, because if I could put it into words, I wouldn't know how, because it's so special to me. Growing up in this community back in the 50s and 60s wasn't like it is now. I can see where there has been a tremendous change. And this night to me means an awful lot. And I'm so very proud to be a part of it. And I really want to thank the children, the young people, the Mayor's Council. I love these kids. These kids are excellent.
I have learned so much with my involvement in the Historical Preservation Commission and with the members of Sage Chapel Cemetery. about the black history that really exists right here in O'Fallon. I think I could probably, if you give me 10 hours, I could talk to you about the black history of O'Fallon. All the way from the hill where the black residents lived, to the black school, to the people who were the Cora and Simon White, and the Haydens and Billy Hayden, and on and on and on. These are amazing people, and I think people need to hear about them. They're wonderful people. They went through tough times, and we need to bring them back to life so we can let people know what O'Fallon was like.
And sing for those who suffered through the ignorance of man, but sing also for the oppressors and the perpetuators of evil, in hopes that they too will have their eyes opened to their brokenness and be redeemed by grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Our final story features a nonprofit group dedicated to finding homes for unwanted dogs and cats. Here is their story of love and compassion.
Come here.
Heartland Humane Society of Missouri is a 501c3 nonprofit group of dedicated foster homes that gives abandoned, abused, and unwanted animals another chance for loving, permanent homes through their adoption program following the no-kill policy.
Started May of 1998. We became incorporated at that time, so we've been in business 15 years this May. Started just based on how many animals in this area need to be rescued and saved. So you have a group of people that came together, did some garage sales to earn the money to get started, and started out primarily fostering the homes.
Hey, baby.
Volunteers help make Heartland Humane Society tick. Volunteers like Ashley Ouellette love giving back their time so that dogs and cats can find a loving home.
I really like this group because it's a very good group of people, and all the ladies have become like my best friends over the years. And I just think that it's really nice that we can all get together and rescue the animals.
Heartland provides a great service for our community. They prevent overpopulation in our community through collaboration with veterinarians, animal welfare organizations, and supportive individuals. In 2013, Heartland found homes for 442 cats and dogs.
Because so many people do not spay and neuter their pets, they let them outside, they continue to breed, and you have so many unwanted animals, and it's a very harsh life, and everyone is aware of just how bad this winter has been. And it's surprising how many critters we've taken in when it's 6 degrees and 10 inches of snow. People call for help, and organizations like this, that's what we do.
So what does it take to adopt a pet through Heartland?
Typically, people come up on Saturdays and look at the cats or dogs, and then you fill out an application, and then there's 2 other paperwork type things that you need to do, and then you get to take the animal home.
If you're interested in volunteering, fostering, or adopting an animal through Heartland Humane Society, you can go to
hhsrescue.org is the website. There is a Facebook link on the home page. You can also look there. That's updated daily. And we work out of the PetSmart in O'Fallon, Missouri. So we are here all day Saturday. We have volunteers here on Sunday, and we often meet people during the week, typically evenings because most of us work. And we're more than happy to meet people to see critters and to do adoptions up here.
Oh, you're so sweet.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you have a good story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@ofallon.mo.us. Please remember to give back to your community because O'Fallon matters to all of us.